Hey, how's it going guys? Jack and Matt here with the Toasty Bros, and today we're partying together a $1,400 gaming PC featuring the new 6600 XT.
And we're gonna be pairing it with an i7-10700F, which is one of our favorite CPUs on the market right now. But before we talk about the rest of the parts in today's PC build, let's hear a word from today's sponsor. Do you want to eat cereal in the morning but cut out all that extra sugar it gives you? Well, today's video sponsor, Magic Spoon, has the perfect thing for you.
They have many different healthier alternatives to your favorite cereals. You can buy a variety pack from them that features 4 delicious flavors such as cocoa, fruity frosted, and the office personal favorite peanut butter.
Magic Spoon cereals have 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net carbs in each serving, and come in at only 140 calories per serving, while also being keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, and low-carb. I personally love finding healthy alternatives to things in my life, and I've been very happy with this healthy breakfast option from Magic Spoon, and also it works great as a snack just sitting around the office.
We have enjoyed having this cereal around the office for our team to snack on during the day. Magic Spoon is confident enough that you will love their product. They are offering a 100% happiness guarantee or money back, no questions asked.
And if you want to pick up Magic Spoon cereal, use the discount code in the description down below to save $5 off their delicious cereal.
Special thanks again to Magic Spoon, and let's go ahead and get back into that video. So in typical Toasty Bros fashion, this PC is going to have lots of RGB, lots of performance under the hood. We're even doing some sleeved cables, which we rarely do anymore, but lots of minor modifications that are going to make it look really nice and really don't break the bank. And links in the description down below will be affiliate links if you want to buy any of this stuff.
So let's go ahead and talk about each individual part, how it makes up this PC build, and then put this thing together and play some video games.
So for the processor, we have the i7-10700F. This is an 8-core 16-threaded processor, which is basically on par with something like the 5800X. It's just Intel standard. And it is an F, which means you don't have integrated graphics. So for some reason you ever need to test this processor without a graphics card, you're not gonna be able to do that. So just keep that in mind, but the Fs are always cheaper and they perform the same in terms of processing power. Now for the cooler, we have the Corsair iCUE H115i Elite Caplix? I've never seen that name, but that's pretty interesting to see. And it has lots of RGB on it. This is going to keep this i7 like incredibly cool. I think this one even actually comes with a stock cooler. Yeah, so I mean, really, I wouldn't recommend doing that with an i7. You really could just go like a tower cooler, but you know what? We have a nice Corsair case that's an iCUE case. So I figured why not pair it with the 280mm cooler. Now for the motherboard, we have an MSI Z490A Pro. You could go with the Z590 obviously, but we want to save a little bit of money. We know the Z490 will work out of the box. It's a full-size board, which is going to fit inside this case really nice. And not to mention, just look at how nice that looks. That nice black and gray color scheme, which we have some really nice sleeve cables that Matt will talk about to go with this build. So today we have some dummy RAM because honestly, real RAM's overrated. But now in all honesty, we have 2 8GB sticks, which is going to pair it nicely because it's going to look like 4 sticks, but really we have 2 dummy sticks that don't do anything except light up with their RGB. And then we have 2 8GB sticks that are 3200 megahertz and 16 gigs total. Looks really nice. It's going to perform really well and we're very excited. Now for storage, we have the Samsung SSD, and it is a Samsung Evo 980. This is a M.2 NVMe SSD, so there's no cables or anything. You literally plug it into the motherboard. And also, Samsung Evo makes some of the nicest M.2s that are NVMe before you have to go to Gen 4 in terms of read and write speeds. So that's why we like to get these now, because they're only a little bit more money than something like the Crucial P2 or one of the Team Group drives that have a little bit lower read and write speed.
Now for the graphics card, big thanks to PowerColor for sending this over. This is an RX 6600 XT, more specifically, is there a model up front?
Is it the Hellhound?
It's the Hellhound, not the Hellhound. This is the Red Devil version, actually. And the reason why we got the custom sleeve cables we'll talk about here in a second. But 6600 XT, new card from AMD, great for 1080p high refresh rate gaming. And I'm very excied to pair it with the i7-10700. And we actually did a streaming setup with this thing, which I'm not sure if it's gonna be out by the time this video goes live, but it actually is capable of live streaming as well. So if you're looking to get into live streaming, definitely consider this card. Now for the power supply, we have the good old EVGA 600BA, which is a 600 watt, non-modular, just standard power supply, but it does come with black cables. But 600 watts, more than enough to power this PC build. You really could get away with 500 watts if you wanted to with something like the 6600 XT, but we wanted to give this a little bit more headroom. And to make these cables look even better, we have this sleeve cable kit from Formula Mod, which is a combo of black, red, and gray. So cool little color scheme to match the graphics card, because the graphics card has a lot of red in it, and we figured might as well go with that to add a little bit of an extra touch to this PC build. And the last but certainly not least, the Corsair 220T with iCUE RGB built in, has 3 RGB fans built in up front. Main reason we went with this case is because, well, we have the cooler and we want to be able to sync everything up nice and easily, so fingers crossed it actually works, and fingers crossed this cooler actually fits. It's not going to fit up front, so I think this will support a 280 up top, but we'll see. We're going to go ahead and put this PC together, see how beautiful the RGB looks, and then see how it performs in the latest games. Let's do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now that we have this $1,400 gaming PC all booted up and ready to go, let's talk about some benchmarks real quick. Now, we decided to test this PC in a couple of titles, those being Call of Duty Cold War, Apex Legends, Forza Horizon 4, and Borderlands 3. Now, first up in Call of Duty Cold War at 1080p, we decided to test this system at 1080p for every single game because, well, the 6600 XT is being advertised as a 1080p card, which I'll talk more about that later, but at 1080p on high settings in Call of Duty Cold War, we averaged 144 plus FPS in Nuketown. I really think AMD is selling the 6600 XT a little bit short because, yeah, it is a good high refresh rate 1080p card, but I really think on medium-high settings, this card will work perfectly fine for 1440p, and a lot of people dislike this card because AMD is charging as much as it is for a 1080p card, but I really think it is a capable 1440p card, making it a really good option if you can actually find one in stock, because that's just what everyone is dealing with right now. GPU's out of stock. What is actually the best buy? Should I overpay for a graphics card? I really think if you can find one at MSRP, it's really worth picking up. Now, that isn't to say I wouldn't love AMD to drop the price a little bit, but given the market right now, I really can't be too mad at the 6600 XT, and I really do think it's not a bad buy if you're looking to build a pretty decent 1080p high refresh rate or 1440p gaming PC. Now, next up in Apex Legends on max settings with the FPS limit removed, because you know what, I actually remembered to do that. In an arenas mode, we got 160 plus FPS. This $1,400 PC is very capable of playing the latest and greatest games, no problems whatsoever, especially esports titles. Apex Legends, Fortnite, Rainbow Six Siege, Valorant, League of Legends, all those games will run really well at 1080p, 100 plus FPS, so this would be a great candidate for a 144Hz or 165Hz monitor if you really want to take advantage of the high refresh rate gaming experience that PC gaming is all about. Now, another game we decided to add to the benchmark rotation is Forza Horizon 4. Using the built-in benchmark on max settings, we ended up averaging 163 FPS. If you guys have any other games you'd like to see us test, let us know down below. I do want to pick up Forza Horizon 5 when it does come out because, well, it's a racing game. It's something a little bit different. I know you all out there are not all FPS shooters like we are here at the Toasty Bros office. We love FPS games, and there's a lot of other games that you can play on PC, and Forza is one of them, and it has a built-in benchmark. benchmark. So it makes our life a lot easier in terms of comparing other PCs across the board by just hitting start benchmark and getting some numbers. So really going to be awesome having Forza Horizon 4 in the benchmark rotation. But if you have any other suggestions for games, let me know in the comment section down below. We're always mixing it up. And last but certainly not least is Borderlands 3 at 1080p on ultra settings. We averaged 121 FPS. And recap, the combination of the 6600 XT and i7-10700F just makes a whole lot of sense. The 10700F is still my favorite high-end gaming CPU right now, just in terms of value for money. The 5600X and 5800X are becoming much more affordable, so that is getting closer to being my #1 recommendation, but the fact that the 10700F is always on promo is definitely cheaper than the 5600X at times, and you get 8 cores and 16 threads and still very good IPC. It's really a no-brainer right now to consider Intel if you're looking to build a PC that has the best value for money right now. So if you want to pick up any of the parts from today's video, links in the description down below. Definitely use those links because they are affiliate links and they do help us out, but I think this build turned out really good for the money, and I highly suggest you consider it for your next gaming PC build. So now we finished the benchmarking section of today's video. I would bring Jackson back in here to wrap this video up real quick.
Alright guys, so we just got done doing the benchmarks on this PC, and really, as we've proven in many videos at this point, the 6600 XT, well with many other AMD graphics cards, can handle 1080p, 1440p gaming, as well as even live streaming, just as well as pretty much any NVIDIA card can.
And paired with an i7-10700F, it just makes a whole lot of sense for content creation, gaming, live streaming, pretty much anything you want to throw at it. It works really well, and for the most part, 6600 XTs are decently easier to get. It's not perfect. You can get them though, either on the used market or from drops from the popular websites like Newegg and Amazon. But yeah, in recap, 6600 XT, awesome card for the money. If you want to buy any of the parts for today's videos, link in the description down below will be affiliate links and they will help us out.
And then one other thing to note real quick is that this case does support 140mm fans on the front and the top. However, it doesn't really fit a 280mm radiator easily at all. You can make it work up front, but you will have to remove the 120mm fans. We made it work, however, by using some extra long screws, and it did mount really well. So if you have the means to do so, you can make it work, but we really suggest just getting a 240mm radiator and having a lot more fun with that. And on that note, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, check out our other 2 YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/ToastyBros. And do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
We'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.
Hey, we actually built this PC live this morning over at twitch.tv/ToastyBros.
If you want to watch us build PCs, which we pretty much do every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and also Tuesday and Thursday on another platform, but we'll talk about that later, go to our Twitch stream, twitch.tv/ToastyBros. Stay tuned. See you there.